Hey, welcome to Coffee and Candor. This is Chris.
Ross.
Brandy.
Amber.
All right, so today we're going to start off... Well, you do it. It's your thing.
I saw this video on an Uber driver had picked up, what was it, 3 or 4 girls?
3 or 4.
They were packed in there tight.
Yeah, probably, 3 or 4 women. And it's his car. He told them that a mask was required. And apparently one girl had a big problem with that. She wouldn't wear the mask. He told her to get out of the car. She starts coughing all over him. They start screaming. Then they reach over to grab his phone for whatever reason. He goes to snatch it back. They act like they're going to hit him. And it was just insane.
So for people who don't understand how this works, if you drive for Uber, you don't work for Uber. Uber doesn't have...
licensed contractor.
Yeah. Uber doesn't have very many employees. You are a contractor for Uber, which means that your vehicle is your office
it's not
space.
Uber property.
Yes, that is, and even if it was, that is private property. Just like if you go into a store and they require a mask, you don't get to bitch about it. Just fucking put a mask on or leave. And this bitch jumped over him, and I'm with you. We were talking about this just before we hit record. If she would have done that to me, I'd have gone to jail because I would have knocked her all the way out.
When she went over my body and hit me like that,
And for me, it would have just been a reaction.
I would have had, I would have popped her so fast. I'd have been like, well, that happened. So that's a thing now.
Yeah, but then you got to fight off her 3 fucking friends.
Yeah.
But like a day later, she posted some video on some social media.
I don't care what she has to say.
Talking about, oh, well, he's lucky that he didn't get these hands because my boyfriend's teaching me to fucking...
a whole bunch of bullshit.
Shut the fuck up.
Trying to rationalize her fucking childish, shitty, illegal behavior.
And the thing is, he was it was on the video. He was very respectful. He was like, "Hey, can you put?" And she immediately took it to just this trashy behavior, like the exaggerated coughing. We got the Rona, and like getting up in his bubble.
And then,
and she pulled his mask off.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I don't know if it was in that part of the video or a little bit afterwards. They start bitching about, you're not going to kick us out on the side of the highway, which he wasn't. He said, I'll take you to the gas station. Mm-hmm. He was willing to take...
I'd have kicked her ass out on the side of the highway.
You dragged your ass out by the hair.
That's just what consequences. Actions have consequences.
I'd have been like, you know what? You can get out now, or I can drop you off at the hospital. It's up to you. I don't give a fuck either way.
And then I saw a video yesterday of this older woman. She's probably like 50s, 60s, in a bank. And she didn't have a mask on. They had posted on the door, you have to wear a mask. I think it was in one of the states that lifted the mandate. But it's still a business that says you have to wear a mask. So they ended up calling the police because she wasn't listening. And the police officer goes to her and she starts bitching about, I don't have to wear my mask in public. And he's like, that's correct. And this is a private business. This is public, blah, 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 blah. You have to wear a mask to come into this business. Well, that's why I'm taking my money out. He's like, you can take your money out after you go get a mask, and then you can come back
because taking your money out is a transaction.
And then he tried to escort her out, and then she started, pulling back and like pushing him away, and her ass got taken to the floor and arrested.
Good. One thing I thought was interesting,
and that bitch ought to be fucking found out because Uber knows who she is.
Oh yeah, they've got her information,
and they've got it on video.
We just came back yesterday. We were in Houston, and I thought it was really interesting because we've been hearing about how Texas has lifted everything and is wide open, and they are. But I also found it was more. We saw more people using masks in Texas, like it was the exception to see someone not masked, like in Walmart, restaurant, gas station.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people bitching about the mandate being lifted. It's like, you can still wear a mask. If you're worried about it, don't go to these places.
And they were,
keep your mask on.
They like what Ross and I were saying, there are way more, even though it's not been enforced and it's lifted, there were way more people in Texas masked than there are right here. So, I don't... the lifting of it means that like the restrictions for businesses have loosened up and they can...
Well, it means it's no longer mandatory.
Right. But like Amber was saying, it doesn't stop people
from still doing it or not doing it or, whatever.
I tell you what, we went to U.S. Pizza to pick some stuff up from the other night and what's that, Colton?
Yeah.
That place was packed. There's no way they're distancing people in there.
They're not
no
having
way.
to anymore. It's lifted.
Yeah.
I thought it was lifted at the end of the month.
Cabot was there. That's for sure.
Was it the
Half a
15th?
Cabot was there. What?
When was it lifted?
I thought it. I don't know. I thought it was lifted
Because that
already.
was Saturday,
I thought it was
which
lifted
was
on the
the 13th.
When.
Well, if it was, that explains why traffic was so
Oh, those
horrendous.
motherfuckers. Well, traffic's so horrendous because we've got 3 times the
everybody in
population
fucking
that the
Cabot
fucking
was
infrastructure
out
will
on the
support.
roads.
Yeah.
Every place was packed.
But here's the thing that people don't seem to understand. Mask mandate.
No, effective immediately. This was published on February the 26th. This was on public radio. Effective immediately, Arkansas is lifting nearly all restrictions on businesses related to the pandemic.
Oh.
But here's what people don't understand. Mask mandate or not. Man, you know what? If I own a business and I require a fucking sports coat and a tie to receive service at my business, God damn it, those
There
are
were
rules.
plenty expensive restaurants that did require
Yeah,
that.
and if you don't fucking like it, you can hit the bricks.
Yeah. What came up March 31st is the statewide mask mandate. That ends.
Oh, okay.
But the business restrictions, it says effective immediately that the capacity limits on gatherings and businesses will just be recommendations.
Because there was not an empty spot in Colton's.
People were like, we've been waiting on Colton's and they were like jumping on that.
But
Well-
you can still order from there.
Right?
Well, you know what's going to happen is the same thing that happened at that bank. Well, I don't have to wear a mask. No, bitch, listen.
You don't, but you do here.
You don't have to when you're outside.
I never wear one outside.
Yeah, I don't either. You do if the fucking place requires it.
Right.
That's not a difficult concept.
And that's for anything.
Yeah.
That's just that's like the concealed carry permit.
Or the no shoes, no shirt.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can carry concealed pretty much anywhere you want to in the state. Unless the business you're wanting to go into specifically posts a sign saying no weapons.
Now, with that, if they do that and anything happens there, they should be held liable. Mm-hmm. That's my opinion.
I can't remember how many times I saw my mother go into grocery stores barefoot.
That's fucking gross.
She'd drive barefoot too.
That's fucking gross too. But yeah, I mean, if this business requires whatever, and you don't want to do it,
Don't patronize that business.
find another fucking
There are
place.
other choices for you.
And here's the thing. Here's the great thing about capitalism. If enough people agree with you, enough people will stop using that business, and they'll go out of business or change their policy.
It'll fix itself.
That's literally how capitalism works. Mm-hmm. But you can't bitch about their policy and then expect them to allow you to utilize their services or whatever, and not follow their rules. That you literally can't have it both ways.
Well, but people really like having it both ways.
Well, people are fucking idiots too, and they don't like having it both ways because as soon as they get it the other way, that's when they get butthurt. I mean, you see that all the time.
What?
Going both ways.
Butthurt.
Butthurt.
I see what you did there. But yeah, you see that all the time. And here's a prime example. When the cancel culture starts getting canceled itself, which happens all the time, that's a prime example.
But that's a thing. Like, people act like I got into an argument with my very tall friend this weekend, and he was like, these libs and their cancel culture. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Cancel culture has been around for a long fucking time. Do you not remember when the Dixie Chicks were canceled? And come on, this is not a left or right thing. It's a dumbass thing. Mm-hmm. And quit saying it is. I think that a lot of it is generational. Because you didn't see this nearly as much, 20 years ago. Actually, you did.
Maybe you just didn't hear about it as much.
Well, social media has got us more plugged in, but I believe that we're the generation that doesn't do it as much. Our parents' generation, they canceled the fuck out of everything.
Oh yeah. Actually, I was thinking about that the other day because do you remember
boycotts on all kinds of stuff?
Well, they had fucking who was it? They had Tupac in front of the Senate.
Yeah.
Or no, maybe Ice Cube.
Yeah, well, whatever.
One of them in front of the fucking Senate.
So
trying to justify the lyrics that they write. And I would have, man, I'm telling you, I would have been like this. Look here. You have freedom of speech. It was Al Gore's wife?
Al Tipper.
Yeah. She has freedom of speech.
Remember the warning labels on...
Mm-hmm. And I have freedom of speech. So fuck both of y'all.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I believe there is a generational component to it because it's almost like the generation after us, which I guess would be the millennial generation, or Gen Z now is the thing.
No, I think Gen Z is after the millennials.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the millennials are the ones right after us, and then now it's Gen Z that's starting to get real vocal. And we're all Gen X. And Gen X has
Gen Z and the millennials need to tone it the fuck down.
But
I mean, for real.
Here's the thing, though. I think they're a knee-jerk reaction to the boomers.
Probably.
The boomers were so rigid that those two generations have gone... It's like a whiplash effect.
Polar opposite. Yep.
And then we're in the middle going, just do your thing and shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
You know, just do you, boo.
I really don't mind being the forgotten generation.
No, forget me. Just leave me alone.
Leave me the fuck alone.
Exactly. Leave me the fuck alone, and don't try to push your bullshit on me.
I'm on here doing my thing.
Yeah, don't try to push your bullshit on me, and we will be fine.
You know, because there's a lot of values with the boomer generation that I can embrace.
Work ethic.
Absolutely. There's a lot. Respect. But their problem was they only wanted to respect people like them.
Yeah.
And I had a problem with that.
Well,
but I mean,
their idea of what was acceptable was very narrow.
Rigid and
very
narrow.
rigid, yeah.
Right. Like, I mean, they were way too... for me,
right?
Way too buttoned down. But there were things that were admirable about that general way of thinking. Not everything, of course. No way of thinking is 100%.
Yeah.
But there are things I admire about the millennials and the Zs.
There's not a lot.
There is for me. I admire their principles. Not necessarily like I agree with them, but I admire their willingness to stand up, and be loud about what they believe.
Here's why I don't. And call me a skeptic, call me a cynic, that's fine. I believe that 95% of the time, when people do that, they're just looking for 15 minutes of fame. Just like that bitch on the fucking Cabot
fuck
thing.
Her.
Yeah, right. She let me tell you what happened in my head. I'm sure it actually happened too. She got in all that bullshit, and everybody was so hateful to her. And she went to her church, and I'm sure she goes to renew her new life. I guarantee it. And she said, I've been victimized. I tried to do the right thing, and they persecuted me. I bet a paycheck that's what happened.
Fuck her in her homophobic butthole. Okay?
Because someone called her homophobic or whatever. She's like, I sure am.
Yeah.
That's not a supposition on my part. She owned it.
She for real said that.
And I was like...
Yeah, it's like, honey,
You do realize you're out here bullying people in the name of anti-bullying?
Yeah.
That's not how that works.
Yeah,
you're talking about bullying. Anytime anybody said something she didn't agree with, there goes the name calling.
And the blocking.
Yeah, she was bullying people in the name of anti-bullying.
That's not how
or bullying people in the name of religion is actually what it was.
That's like, fucking for abstinence. It just... what?
That's something I can get behind.
Yeah, that's a movement I can get behind. But
neither one of them caught the get behind thing.
Get behind.
Jesus,
I thought that was
a good play on words.
They're clearly calling it in this week. They're just phoning it in.
Pink and white.
I know, it's because their brains don't work right. But
they're broken.
They're fundamentally broken.
We're talking about that. That's just a quick reference to the Ross pulled
I
up
could
this,
just tell
this
it was in bad lighting and it was pink and white.
Right, like I get it was bad lighting, but...
They didn't say evaluate the fucking lighting,
yeah,
though. They said, what color do you see?
I see pink and white. I'm not saying it's in bad color or bad lighting, so it should be pink and white.
You're not saying you interpreted it as pink and...
It looks like pink and white and bad lighting. to me.
See,
Yep.
all right, so it's a picture of a
Because
tennis
it
shoe.
is pink and white.
You shut the fuck up.
And Amber and Ross saw the shoe as what the shoe itself was white and the laces
No.
were pink.
Yeah.
No.
No,
The
the
shoe was
laces
pink.
and the bottom